Hey guys, today we're taking a look at some of the amazing site launches we've had in February, and there's a lot to look at, so let's get started. So first up is Virginia Beach City Public Schools. Let's take a look. It's always exciting to see a district site with such engaging video in its homepage area. And as we scroll down, we see these icons, which are great on a mobile device. They cut to the chase quickly so folks know what they're looking at. Really interesting call out here on the side here to look at the news at a glance for some impressive numbers, and then check out the footer with this little animation here of the Virginia Beach City skyline. It's a great touch. Looking at the menu, you have these great call outs, just clear navigation, bright, engaging pictures for folks to look at. It makes browsing the site very easy. This is a great example of transferring your district brand to individual school sites. And you see that familiarity with the charting the course hashtag, the colors, some of the iconography, the page layout, but there's enough distinction to give that individual school its own identity. So next I want to take a look at the microsite for St. John's Episcopal Parish School. It's pretty cool. So I missed it the first time, but if you look closely, this is actually a video rendering of the future campus. A microsite is always a great option if you're really trying to provide a place for users to go back to for campaign updates, for testimonials, to be able to give those important campaign updates to support major campaigns like this one. And I love that focus on this is where we hope to be. This is the vision of the future for the campus. Next up is New Paradigm for Education and their new site. It's a really solid homepage experience. There's a lot of potential here for this site. Very simple, streamlined navigation to find different schools. You have an at-a-glance section that delivers some pretty impressive numbers. All around, just a nice solid site with a lot of potential. Next up is Piedmont Unified School District. They just launched their new site. Great navigation up here, and I love the wording of the I want to. If users are using that, they can jump to whatever they're looking for really easily. It's a great nod to user experience. I always love a district site that prioritizes district news and updates and events. There's so much going on in the district, and it's really an opportunity to share that with users. You have them talking about strategic plan, you have opportunities to meet the board. They're focused on enrollment this year. And you can tell that the site is really engaging new families. They have the by the numbers section. You have them focused on the strategic plan, an opportunity to enroll. So they're doing a great job at speaking to new families into the community and being able to engage them. LaSalle College in Switzerland. This site makes me want to grab my skis and head out to the slopes. There's so much to look at on this homepage. Let's take a closer look. Love this site. There's a lot to take in. You got this great imagery of the mountains in the background. It's almost like looking at a map in some ways, because you kind of get this feel of these landmarks, these sweeping vistas. It talks about the environment that inspires, and you see these little fast facts that come out, almost like points on the map. It's great. And then as you scroll down, you see the landscape kind of slide up. And then it starts talking about its curriculum, and again, these points on this map, this idea of this journey, this academic exploration, pushing yourself academically, but also discovering your own boundaries and that theme of adventure. Some great social media integration there too with the callouts. Really nicely done. Father Ryan High School, they just launched their new site. You will be known, you will be loved. Let's take a look. I love how this video is kind of offset in this hero area above here. We've got some nice standard elements here talking about faith, tradition, service. And then we have some nice panels here that go more into faith and service and students reaching their potential. But I also want to draw attention to its admissions section. Again, we see some of the elements from the homepage continuing on to these interior pages. This admissions page is great. It's got some testimonials, it's got a virtual tour, it's got the opportunity to connect with the admissions team. And when students are ready to inquire, they have a few different options to actually inquire or learn more about athletics, financial aid. And with this streamlined admissions process, you really can start to get a better sense of who these students and families are and be able to start to really foster those one-on-one relationships with families. St. Mark's School in Massachusetts just launched a new site, Intentionally Small, Thinking Big. Let's take a closer look. I love the secondary use of colors here and their call to action with their buttons up top in the navigation too. They're nice little bursts of color that kind of support the main blue of St. Mark's. You have some panels here that go deeper into why St. Mark's. You talk about experiential learning, community, leadership, service, things like that. You got these great fast facts here that talk about St. Mark's at a glance. You've got some great news and events coverage down below. You have some sliders here talking about different aspects of the school. Love this navigation here. You've got some really strong images of the campus. Popular links below to inquire and make a gift. Really just all around a really nice site. Cardinal Gibbons High School, this is a really interesting site for me to take a look at. They've got a lot of interesting things going on in the site's navigation. Let's take a look. I love this site. I love how you scroll through it, but you still feel anchored in that main panel there. We have these great visuals, and as you scroll down, you're really anchored by that left-hand navigation there. It's really a gorgeous site, and as you continue through each panel, you get a better sense of what their community's like, their commitment to faith. You have these great testimonials here. Some great campus news going on with these panels. And then at the end here, this whole panel kind of works as a CTA, right? Continue the journey. Are you going to acquire? Are you going to apply? Or are you going to make a gift to the school? So there's a lot to explore here. Jesuit High School, let's take a look at their site next. This site really packs a punch. There's a lot to explore, and you don't really have to scroll very far to see all of it. You've got these panels with campus news. You've got event calendar to talk about what's coming up next. You've got the social media integration. These quick links branch off into different areas of the site. And that's a really great strategy for keeping your homepage fresh. If you have a lot of different elements feeding into the homepage, that content is going to keep that site looking brand new every time someone comes back to it. So next up is Sacred Heart Academy of Bryn Mawr. They're right down the street from me. Take a look how you go right through their site. Text. What? Bryn Mawr, they're part of the Sacred Heart Academy, and they really stand out among the 150 schools in over 40 countries that make up this international Sacred Heart schools. And you can see we have some testimonials from the community, these panels that branch off into the main division, and you really feel that focus on the faith, the intellect, the community, and that growth. Really nice job at creating its own identity within that larger international Sacred Heart schools. Next is San Antonio Academy of Texas, and they've got some amazing testimonials and design work. Let's take a look. This site's pretty impressive, and this is an all-boys private school, and it's really empowering them to be the best they can be. And I love these cutouts here of the different students talking about the virtues of the school. You have some impressive stats. And then you've got this timeline here right on the homepage, which is something you don't always see, but it really is able to chronicle the school's long history going back to the 1800s. Love these testimonials here, being able to call out different members of the community. So next we're going to Bangkok for KIS International School. This is a really simple, but it's an effective design for this homepage here because it's going to work really well on a smartphone. And I love how they use this action-oriented language up top in their main navigation. Explore, join, learn, experience. And this is really effective for the news and events panel. It's right under the images that are really going to launch users into the different programs and areas of the site. Again, it's simple, but it's effective and looks great on a smartphone. Clayton Valley Charter High School has an amazing site, and it's a lot of fun to look at. Clayton Valley, I love this site. There's a lot of excitement. This video is great. You really get a sense of what it's like to be in the classrooms. And as you scroll down here, you get these different sections about its vision, some differentiators, some fast facts in there. It talks about passions. These are nice to scroll through and get different elements of the campus life. You got some highlights here, what's going on around the school. I just love the color. I love the feel. I love the design. I feel like it really breaks a lot of the mold of what we've seen from charters so far, so this is a great example of a design that's really unique and stands out. Oslo International School is next, so let's take a look at what they got. Okay, we're headed to Norway to take a look at Oslo's site, and I love the waves here incorporated into the site design. You see a lot of rounded edges, you see the bursts of color, and then you see this very subtle gradient in a lot of their panels, and that really is a nod to the Northern Lights, tying in that culture of the area into the school's site design. Love that footer there at the bottom. So next is LaSalle College High School. They've got a beautiful new site. Let's take a closer look. This is really a beautiful site design, and it plays on the theme of the educational journey, how that, students are all on their own paths to discover themselves. And you see these different constituent profiles appear. It teases out their experiences, and you get a sense of who the faculty are. And it asks users to kind of explore their own paths. And again, if you look at their inquiry process here, it's really one-stop shop to develop those relationships with families. They can inquire, they can register for events, they can sign up for different experiences. It's a really great opportunity, again, to streamline that admissions and enrollment process and be able to collect the information that admission offices are going to need to start relationships with families. Kingsway College School is next. Let's take a look. I love how they play off this idea of expansion and how a student's mind is always growing. And you can kind of see that replicated in the design here. You have these expansive starlight graphics and these bursts of color that really kind of play on this idea of growth and dreaming bigger and imagining what's possible. It's a fun little site to explore.